Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about how to know it's time to move on. This is a really big thing when we're going through a spiritual awakening or just growing as a person in general. A lot of times in our life we'll feel this pull, this urge, this impulse to make a big change, whether that's a move across the country, ending a relationship, starting a new one, leaving a job, a career change. It can be really anything. It's just we sometimes feel like this calling to do something totally different. And in this video, I really want to share with you how to know it's the right time to make a change. The simplest, the easiest way to know that you're yearning to move to the new place, to move into a new job, to end the relationship, to start a new relationship is, where is this feeling, where is this impulse coming from? Is the feeling coming from your gut, or is it coming from your head, your mind? I'll use my own example. So about 3 or 4 months ago, I live out here in the middle of Montana on this beautiful prairie, so spacious and open with animals everywhere. And it's just, the air is so fresh. It's a wonderful place to be. I'm really secluded a lot of the time, so it's a beautiful place for me to go inwards and do the inner work and meditate and do yoga and all these beautiful things that I'm being called to do in this phase of my journey. But 3 or 4 months ago, I was feeling like this restlessness and this pull to go to like a spiritual town like Santa Fe or Sedona or Durango, Colorado. Basically what was happening is my mind was trying to project to me what would make me happier. And a lot of times when we listen to our mind about how it tells us we need to move somewhere or do something different, the mind, like for me, was telling me you're not only going to move to Santa Fe, but you're also going to be someone totally different when you move there. And that's a sign that you just need to stay where you are, because all the discontentments and unsatisfactoriness that you're feeling in your current situation, that's just going to go with you when you move. So that was one that I really had to just let go, and I had to start choosing to be where I was at. And instead of trying to change my reality with this cosmic law of attraction Super Nintendo controller, I had to just start transforming where I was by choosing to be there, by becoming present, and by seeing the beauty and appreciating what I had. And I've come to realize, oh, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is so in alignment with where I am on my spiritual evolution and spiritual journey. Of course, eventually this will change. This isn't a permanent thing by any means, but I really had to see it for what it was. And it was just my mind's illusion, my mind created an illusion of something that would, make it happier from, seeking from out there instead of going within. And so that was a case to where, no, moving was not the right thing for me. Now I'll share the opposite example. When I was in Midland, Texas, just basically in the middle of the biggest oil, exploitation place on planet Earth, I think, one of them, like oil, it smells like gas there, literally. I was there for about 9 months, and I remember I was kind of like, my mind was like, yeah, we'll leave in maybe the next year or so, 3 months, maybe at the earliest. That was my mind, because I was working a job and making a lot of money selling furniture, and it was like I was saving a ton of money, and it was just seemed practical to like postpone moving for a while, but there was just like this inner movement for me to leave. Like it was in my gut. It was like in my solar plexus area, my sacral chakra, just, I could feel it. And I was like, oh shoot, what is this? And I would just find myself, like one day I found myself just packing up, like putting my stuff in the boxes, put it in my car. Like, I wasn't doing this with my mind. I was not planning to move at all. And my mom actually came up to me. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know. I guess I'm packing to leave." And I actually put my 2 weeks in like a day later because this urgency was just becoming like fire. It was just becoming like so intense that I had to go. And then I remember I put in my 2 weeks and I literally only made it like a day and a half more and I just had to go. It was like something, my solar plexus was just like burning up. Like it was just like, move now, go. And it made no sense to my thinking mind, to my logical mind. I was like, and I was risking a lot of money because in the furniture business, you don't get paid until the furniture is delivered. So you'll sell something to somebody and you get paid like, a month or 5 weeks later. So for me to just cut and run and leave while not finishing my 2 weeks, I was risking like $5,000 or something. And it just didn't matter. Like the movement inside of me was so strong that it just didn't matter. I just had to go. And I called the owner of the company and told him, I just was honest with him. As I could be for him to understand. And he ended up just still paying me all my commissions. He said, "I get it. You gotta go. You gotta go." Everything just worked out. I was supposed to like watch my parents' animals. They were leaving and I knew they were going to be so pissed at me, especially after everything they had done for me. But I just was honest with them too. And they were very supportive and they got it. And the universe just took me. It was like not my choice. So that feeling came from the gut. I mean, there was no logic. There was no mind involved. There was no projecting a happier, no. And that is when you know you must listen. That is source. That is your higher self. That is spirit saying, no, it's over. This chapter is closed. You closed. You should have left last week, buddy. You're out of here. And that can happen with the job where one day you just go in and you're like, I can't fucking do this. It's over. Like, and you're done that day. And you just know it. It's like, it's almost not a choice, right? Same with a relationship. Same with anything. And that's how you know it's time to go. And spirit makes it very clear. Your higher self will make it very clear when it's time to just, cut and run basically. And it's not like an escape move. Like, when I was talking about leaving where I'm at now to go to Santa Fe, that was me trying to escape what was going on, right? That was me thinking like, oh, a new environment, whatever, a new job, it'll make me happy. When in reality, what needed to happen was me to just let go of those projections and stay put. So that's a big way to distinguish and to discern what is the right thing for you. Is change? Is it time to move on? Where is the feeling coming from? Is it coming from a mental projection, from a story in the mind about what it'll be like somewhere else? That's a sign that, you have some work to do where you are still. So it's time to really start choosing to be where you are, start becoming more present there and transform your current reality. And when you do that, all the things that you think are going to be over there, all the good emotions and high vibes and the people and the connections and the money, all of that will start showing up right where you are when you fully arrive. But if it's coming from the gut, if it's coming from the heart, if it's coming from somewhere in your body and it's just like this undeniable, it's not even a thought, it's just a force, it's a feeling, it's a movement, then you know what? You're going to have to go with it. Or you're going to really suffer. And that's when you know it's true. It's because when you're not going with it, oh my God, you start, I tried to hold out and not leave Midland in a hurry for obvious logical and practical reasons. But the energy was just like, nope. I was in so much suffering and agony. It was like, I didn't care how much money I was going to lose or how I was going to let people down or who I was going to disappoint. I just had to fucking go. And you will sometimes, if you don't listen for long enough when it's time to move on, and that could be from a relationship, a job, or a place you're living, it will come to that point where you're just like, all of a sudden you have no choice anymore and it's gonna happen and the energy is just gonna rip you away whether you like it or not. So if we can, it's good to have some discernment and to really feel into situations. And as we become more sensitive, and I've noticed this in myself, as we become more sensitive, we don't have to get to that point, and we don't have to delude ourselves with our mind and what it thinks it wants, right? So the gist of this video, guys, is to just, it's all in the body. The body knows, the heart knows. That's where all the truth is. The mind will deceive you. It'll take you here and there, and it'll pull you around, and it'll make you go on these long freaking mazes to where like you're creating more issues than you're solving. And like, let's stay out of the mind as much as possible with this process when it comes to moving on from whatever it is, a job, relationship, place you're living. Tune into the body, tune into the heart, really feel into your gut, and that's where you're going to get the definite true answer. And just trust it and go with it, because it's going to feel, and how are you feeling? You know, it's going to feel so right, and it's so in alignment, no matter what anyone else around you thinks. That's another thing. A lot of times people around you are going to think you're crazy, but you know the truth. You know what is needed for you, and your gut's going to tell you, your heart's going to tell you. Just open to that, trust it, and go forward. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. It means a lot to me. I can't wait to catch you in the next video. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Namaste.